I'm starting to drool.
Right, but I don't.
No, you're not getting any of mine.
And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning on top. When I say a little, I mean a lot. Really, really good.
All right. Wow, that is really good.
I'm actually going to roll my corn in the Doritos.
Yum.
Right.
All right, let's try. I guess I got to give you a plate.
You do.
All right. I have to eat on the other side though.
I go first.
Girl germs. Okay, hi. I'm Jeff Dombeck, and this is...
Hi, I'm Karen Bast. Welcome.
And we are culinary instructors at Southwest Tech, Culinary and Hospitality. We're going to be making something for you today. It's Culinary Month, so in July, and we thought corn would be a great idea because at this time of year, mid to late July, you see corn all over the place. So what a great time to be working with corn. And we're going to be doing some grilling today because a lot of people aren't sure what to do with grilling corn. So we thought we'd do that for you. First thing I want to say is there's different schools of thought about, do I soak the corn ahead of time? Do I not soak the corn? I soak my corn in salt water overnight for two reasons. One is sometimes there's bugs or worms or whatever in the ear itself. Hopefully not if you picked it right. But if you soak it, the bugs and the worms tend to not like that salt water. So they kind of crawl out and you're left with a cleaner cob. After I soaked mine overnight, I poured out the water, did not see any bugs or worms, so I think we're good. And the other reason is when it's soaked, that water kind of goes through the husk and it tends not to burn on the grill, which can be a problem. And then you're left with bare corn that just kind of burns, which is what my dad used to do. He wasn't real good at grilling corn, so we had like charred corn, which, you know, although when you're a kid it's okay, now we don't like that so much. So that's our preliminary.
And I, on the other hand, tend not to soak my corn. Jeff is a little bit better at timing, and I usually want to get things done really quick. So can you put it on without soaking it? Absolutely,
you absolutely can.
We were just at my daughter's, and she did that the other day, and it turned out wonderful. However, there are, as Jeff just got done telling you, some advantages to soaking it. So,
and then if you forget, like let's say you're having a beverage and you get involved with chat, and oops, there's the corn, you have a little bit extra time because the water in there keeps it from browning and burning. So that's what we do. So I've got some corn here today that I said soaked overnight. I'm just going to put that on here. And gas grill, charcoal, doesn't really matter as long as you have a hot grill.
And we just picked this yesterday morning. So it's fresh out of the garden.
It is. Where did it come from, Karen?
It came from my uncle Nick Gatto's farm in Bloomington, Wisconsin.
So it is a local. It is a local. We didn't buy this from some distributor. It's a local farmer, and we know it's really good because you already tasted it. So.
Jeff and I are going to share a few of our favorite toppings that we use when we make corn. If you are like me when I was a young child, you could be what we would call a traditionalist, which typically would have butter, salt, and pepper.
And I think that's what most people do.
And still, there are days that we choose to be just the traditionalist. However, most of the time, Jeff and I like to jump outside our box and try something different. So a few of our favorites, and you know, you can be as creative as you'd like, but I'll share a few of our favorites. The first one, what we do is we took some butter and we added some of our favorite herbs. So we always call this the Italian corn. So it has some fresh garlic, it has some oregano, it has a little bit of thyme, a little bit of parsley. And what we do is then we'll spread it on, and we spread it on pretty generously. And then afterwards, then we top it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
Now you can mix the spread together by hand if you want, but we use the food processor so much faster, and make sure you use fresh herbs from your garden if possible, or you can use herbs from the store that are fresh. If you need to, you can use dry, but fresh is better.
Now, Jeff, could we melt that if we wanted to?
Yeah, you can melt that, but then the herbs tend to drop a little bit, and then it's hard to get the herbs up on the cob. So making a spread like this, make sure that herbs and butter right on the cob all at once, which is nice. Plus, it's kind of melty, which people like.
Then the next two that we're going to share are two of our favorites that when we grill pork chops or steaks or chicken breasts on the grill, we tend to usually do baked potatoes. So just like a baked potato, when we are grilling corn, we have put some of our favorite herbs and spices and butters and condiments. So the first one we've taken something called Montreal steak seasoning, and we just shake a little bit on top, and then after that, we will top it with some crumbled blue cheese. Is that wonderful?
And you can do that with butter or without.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And if you're wondering where to get Montreal steak seasoning, it used to be this big secret, but now you can find it at steak seasoning.
In your spice section.
And it's also great on steak. So if you don't have any corn, it's great on steak. And if you don't like blue cheese or you don't have any, you can use any kind of crumbly cheese, like feta cheese or strongly flavored cheese are better. But you can use any, you can shred some cheddar on it if you want, and that would be fine.
Absolutely. Our next favorite is a combination of sour cream. First we take our corn, and by the way, every row of corn that we eat, we put just a dab of sour cream down that row. So notice that we've taken packets, and what we'll do is we'll spread even row, and then after that we top it with some freshly crumbled bacon. And again, our bacon came locally from our butcher shop right down the street.
I like to make the bacon nice and crispy because it gives kind of a different texture to the corn than just soft. And if you don't have packets, which most people don't, I would suggest you put the sour cream in a squirt bottle and then you squirt it on. And that will work just as well.
One of our next favorites is south of the border. We have decided to add, we still use our traditional butter, and then on top of that we will do a little bit of, we've taken Doritos and we've crumbled them, we've actually rolled them with a rolling pin, and then we'll sprinkle a little bit of the Doritos. Use whatever flavored Doritos are your favorite. Actually today we picked,
taco flavor, wasn't it?
No.
Ranch?
No, Cool Ranch is
Cool
actually what we chose today. And then I like things a little spicy. Jeff, you're on the same page.
I used to live in Texas, so I like a little spicy.
We like a little bit of spice to our corn. So we've taken a little bit of chili powder and we shake that on top. And then for those of you,
if you're really crazy,
and if you like a lot of heat, then we've taken some crushed red pepper. Then we had thought about, well, what else do we like to do with corn? And you know, why these are all sort of savories, they're all sort of rich and flavorful in regards to go with a protein and a steak and a chop. We said, could we do corn for dessert? We said we absolutely could. So what we experimented with is, again, we took our traditional sweet corn and basted it with a little bit of butter. And then on top, if you can imagine, we're putting corn on top of corn. So we took some caramel corn and again, crushed it with a rolling pin.
And this is homemade caramel corn, by the way. We didn't buy this from anybody. We actually made it in an oven and it's delicious.
So we took the caramel corn and crushed it and rolled it with a rolling pin and then sprinkled it on top of the corn. So you have corn off the grill with rich butter and then the sweetness of the caramel corn. Ooh, was that wonderful. So how are we doing, Jeff?
We're good. We're going right back to the grill now that we looked at our toppings.
Wow, it looks beautiful.
It is. And I want you to see I'm trying to get a little bit of a darkness to the husk here. All right, I will not move it until I got that. Now, different ones are, you can see this one's a little bit darker.
Sure.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It's not the corn that's dark, it's the husk.
Now, the corn won't taste burnt, will it?
It won't unless the husk would burn off or something, and the corn would be exposed. All right, and then the corn would be tough. So again, that's why I soak this,
Sure.
because I don't want this to dry out and get really hard. All right, so
So is that about ready to be turned?
yes, so I just turned it a quarter turn, and then I do it again, and another quarter turn, and I do it again. And when all of the corn on the outside looks kind of like this,
Sort of charred.
sort of charred, that is exactly what I want. And then I'll just keep my eye on it. I could open it up a little bit and see, but for now I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to show you something that most people don't do, and that's roast already cooked corn. Okay, now let's say you have some boiled corn that you didn't eat. Maybe it's a leftover. It's just cooked but hasn't been grilled yet. So what I like to do...
So we could make this ahead of time, and if we were doing steaks on the grill or chops, then we could add it.
Yes, you could absolutely do that. And maybe you cook the corn and you just like that roasted taste on the corn instead of the boiled or steamed. So you can put it right on the grill like this and just reheat it. Now this is a great way to reheat it if you cooked it yesterday and you have some leftover. Just if you've had a lot of corn this week and you just can't have any more corn, having it in a different kind of way is good. So then you would just roast it on the grill like this. And you just put it down and let it go. What we're looking for here, thank you, Karen,
You're welcome,
is not the blackness of the husk. We're looking for just a little bit of brownness to it. Now this is going to take a few minutes because most likely, if you cooked it before, it might be a little wet on the outside. That takes a while for that to dry off, and then the corn will brown. Okay?
Could we baste this with butter when we put it on here?
You could, but you got to be careful if it's charcoal, because it will flare up, and then the corn will be done in a hurry. So you got to be really careful.
So we are using charcoal today. Could we use a gas grill? There's not too many people that cook on charcoal anymore.
No, that's true. And truth be told, I like gas grills myself. It's not the charcoal that I hate. It's just that I like the gas grill because it's so much easier to manipulate the heat on it. So if it's too hot, I can turn it right down. Or if it's not hot enough, I can turn it back up. But with charcoal, you're kind of left with nature and how fast that charcoal burns.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So one other thing, if you have some of this left over and you want to use it for something else, but you want to grill it first and get that grilled taste, you could use this for cut off the cob in like a
corn chowder?
A corn chowder.
What about topping a baked potato with it?
You could absolutely do that for kind of a different taste. You could make a salsa with corn in it, like a fresh tomato salsa, add some roasted corn. You could do that.
What about cornbread?
I was just going to say, you could take corn and roasted corn and put it in the cornbread. Then you'll have a sweeter cake with a roasted corn taste. So there's a lot of things you can do.
You know, I know a lot of people are busy these days and just don't have a lot of time.
Right.
A lot of time. You know, what could we cut this off the cob and add it to, let's say, a can of cream corn?
Sure, you can do that. Or you can take really any soup, add the roasted corn to it, even just a vegetable soup or a cream of mushroom soup or even like a cream of chicken soup. Just add it right to that, and it'll give it a nice roasted corn taste. Now these are going to take a little bit longer. I want to show you some that we already have, and you'll see that they're not super brown. Okay, that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for a little bit of brownness on the outside and that roasted corn taste that you get from just kind of browning a little bit of the corn. You don't want to make it black. You don't want to make it tough. You just want to give it a little bit of flavor. So that's how we do it. And when this is done, it'll look exactly like this.
Beautiful.
We're almost at the end here. You can see that I've done the charring on the husk all the way around, which is important that means that the corn inside is probably done. Now this took about, I would say about 20 to 25 minutes. You don't want to hurry it up. You want to give it a nice long heating so you can get a little bit of that charring on the outside and the corn is done on the inside. If we were going to boil this, it would have been more like 15 minutes. But this is indirect heat, so it takes a little longer. And you can see how the cobs of corn have also changed and become a little more brown. That's perfect, okay?
So, Jeff, you said these are almost done. What if we wanted to sit down and have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or a glass of iced tea? Could we leave
or
these
you
on?
get a phone call.
Or we get a phone call.
Okay.
Could we leave these on for a few more minutes without really damaging them too much?
You could, or at this point, if they're done, you could pull them off.
Okay.
And then you could just microwave them to reheat them, and that would be fine.
Okay.
Or if you have a pot of water and a rack, you can put a little rack above the water, steam them up if it's been a little while, and rehydrate them. That's fine too. You'll still get the roasted corn taste. That will never leave, but you'll be able to reheat them without putting them back on the dry heat. So yeah, that would be fine.
We have a Farm to Fork event coming up Saturday, September 15th here on campus. And I think this is one of the tasks that our students will be working on. Is that correct, Jeff?
Right. And most of them probably have not done this before, so it'll take some intense supervision to make sure we don't have a fire or that they're roasted properly. But they're going to love that. And we're going to take this roasted corn, and you see it'll probably look similar to this, and we're going to cut it off the cob, and we're making a corn chowder that's going to be served to the guests that evening. So it's going to be fabulous.
And we're also going to be doing cobettes as one of our appetizers.
That's true.
Auto and Egg Building.
And as a matter of fact, they're going to be growing the corn on campus for us. So it's not only a campus event, but we're also using campus ingredients through the ag program. As well as the greens for the salad. They're growing them in the grotator. So it's going to be a very interesting, fun, exciting night for all of us on campus.
Surely not to be missed.
Absolutely not. Now, if you've never heard of us and you don't know what Southwest Tech offers for culinary programs, we have a one-year culinary specialist for people that just want to kind of get a little bit of culinary training and then get a job right away. Certainly happens. Most students, though, will take the 2-year associate degree, and that's in culinary arts. And the new one is going to be hospitality and tourism. Two-year associate degrees. They kind of link up, though. So if you take culinary arts, you can easily link up to hospitality and tourism. And if you go the other way, you can link up to culinary arts after 2 years and get a second associate degree. It all depends if you like that food preparation part of it, if you like the tourism, event planning part of it, you can do the hospitality and tourism, but certainly you can do both and get all of that information to make you more employable when you leave here. So Karen and I are the instructors for all of the programs, and we look forward to having you investigate what we're doing. Come on out sometime. Come into one of our classes. Talk to our students. Talk to us. See what we're all about. We'd love to have you. If there's any questions, you can get a hold of us. And if you're seeing this video and you would like to see maybe something different, maybe you have a problem, a special problem with something, you just can't seem to get it right, let us know. We will try to do it on video for you, and hopefully that will help you and other people. We're glad to help out in those situations. So.
And there are a number of scholarships available to culinary students, not only within our organization here at Southwest Tech, but there are a number of them offered through the National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation, through the Wisconsin Restaurant Association, through the Tavern League. So we will be able to help you financially if money is an issue.
This last year, we were able to secure over $10,000 in scholarships for our students, which is an enormous help for people that need to have another job.
And those were just external.
Yes, those were just external. Then there's internal besides. People that have other jobs, have families, need gas money, whatever. We're there to help you financially as well. So don't let that stop you.
We also, with the new tourism, hospitality and tourism program coming on board, we also decided to partner with our golf course management program on campus. And with that being said, golf course management, culinary arts, you put those together with the hospitality and tourism. We also have been partnering with Stout University in Wisconsin that most of our credits, over half of our credits will transfer to Stout. So if you're looking for a 4-year degree in hospitality and tourism or golf course management, it's great to come here your first couple years, get those credits, and then
it'll be less expensive.
Well, and absolutely, and then you get Jeff and I as instructors too.
Yeah,
and we have a lot of one-on-one time with our students, so it is really personalized. We get to know all our students. We get to know their likes, their dislikes, their difficulties in learning. So take advantage of the vast knowledge that we have.
And all of our students ever have loved us, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember one that didn't love us.
Now, the best part of the day is being able to enjoy it. So I'm going to do my favorite, which is the blue cheese and the Montreal steak.
Burnt butter, so I don't need any melted butter, and the Parmesan cheese. And the nice part about a spread is you can pile it on if you really want to, which of course I do. And if you see, I've got quite a bit, and I'm just going to put this Parmesan cheese on there. I'm starting to drool a little bit. I have to say, I'm starting to drool a little bit. Karen?
And I've put some melted butter, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning on top. When I say a little, I mean a lot. And then I'm going to put just a dab of blue cheese. And I want to get enough blue cheese so I get it in every bite.
I can't wait. Will you hurry up?
All right. So I'm going to take my first bite.
All right, me too. Well, I'll wait for you. How is it?
Really, really good.
All right, wait. This, I'm sure mine's just as good. Wait a minute.
I'd say I'd offer you a bite, but I don't.
No, you're not getting any of mine. Wow, that is really good. I don't want anything else. I just want this.
Good but messy.
I'll finish that one later. Karen, would you like a little towel napkin?
I have one.
Oh, okay. All right, next.
I am going to do...
Hurry up.
You're going to probably do the bacon. I'm going to do the Mexican.
All right. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter on. Okay. This is kind of like a baked potato. And then I'm going to put some sour cream on here. I love sour cream, so I'm just going to kind of put it on there. I know, just alone that looks good. And then I'm going to take some of this crispy bacon. Oh my goodness.
I might have to have a bite of that.
No, you don't get any.
I have to make my own.
You have to make your own. There's another cup. Go ahead.
All right. And I'm going to do the Mexican. So I am going to start off with corn, grilled corn, a little bit of butter, enough that my Doritos will stick on top. And you can do one of two things. You can either sprinkle, but I'm actually going to roll my corn in the Doritos.
Yum.
And after that, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of chili powder. And depending on how much chili powder you like, I did a fair amount, but I really like the heat. So I'm going to put some red pepper flakes on.
That looks good too.
Yummy.
Hot stuff.
I'm going first.
All right, you go first. How is it?
Wonderful.
Mexican-y?
Mexican-y. Just the right amount of heat.
How do you like the crunch?
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, it's up to me. All right, so I'm going to have my bacon, sour cream, and butter. Oh my God. The sour cream is so delicious. The butter on there a little bit. That crispy bacon. You kind of get the soft first and then the crunch. Man, that is fabulous. I'll let you have a bite.
Okay, how about we try?
All right, let's try. I guess I got to give you a plate.
You do.
All right. I have to eat on the other side, though.
I go first.
Girl germs. Mmm. Really good. What do you think, Karen?
Mmm. Mmm. I don't know which one's my favorite.
Now, if you've never tried corn like this, it's fabulous. And we just have 4 or 5 of them here, but there are dozens of different ways that you can eat roasted corn, boiled corn. Don't just have butter and salt and pepper. I mean, that's great, but if you really want to experience something phenomenal, try different spices, different cheeses. The bacon's great. Make it up.
What about a pizza? Could we do pizza sauce?
You could. You could do pizza sauce and some mozzarella, maybe.
The other thing I was thinking about doing is a little bit of French fries, chopped up French fries with pickles and a little bit of mustard.
Could you put some very tiny crumbled
my
roast
goodness.
beef in there?
You could.
Oh,
Or Indian. How about some
How
curry?
about some pot roast?
Curry.
Anything. You get the picture. You can do anything with corn, and it makes it so much more exciting, especially when you're at this time of year and there's a lot of corn. Do it different ways, and you and your family will just love the results.
You know, and when you think about sweet corn, most of the time we think about sweet corn in the summer because in Grant County, Wisconsin, it is a summer favorite. However, sweet corn is available almost all year round right now in your local grocery store. So don't be afraid to try this as a Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas or Super Bowl party. Enjoy.